Hello, my name is Natalie Borrego, and this is my organization plan. So the first thing that I had to do when I got this assignment was I had to brainstorm. I had to think of all the different ideas I could use to make a business, and that includes restaurants, retail, charities, you name it. And to be quite frank with you, this was kind of an obstacle because it's a challenge to have to deal with all those different ideas. But in order to steer my focus into the center and avoid all the other ideas that were engulfing me, I created 2 questions that would help me out. The first of which is, what can I do to be successful, number 1, and make a difference in my community, number 2. And so I wanted to make a business that would impact the area that I live in a positive way. But in order to do that, I have to ask the necessary question of, what are we lacking? So what is where lacking? What are you talking about? Where are you talking about more specifically? Well, I live in Socorro, Texas, and that is a little bit on the outsides of El Paso. So if you just keep driving more like on the outsides of the city, you're gonna hit the cotton fields and then you know you're in Socorro. I basically live more in a farmland, and there's a lot of like ranches, and we only have like one neighborhood Walmart, probably like 4 fast food restaurants that I can count on my fingers. And we don't have all those fun city hangouts, I guess you could say. And it's kind of a struggle because for being a teenager and attending a high school, all the high schoolers want to go and hang out with their friends. And it's always an issue whenever we want to make plans because we always have to make that expense of driving further and having to come back on time and going there and going there. And there's nothing that's really close or nearby. And so I wanted to make a business that would provide this area with a fun hangout spot. And so what better hangout spot is there than a cafe? Whenever you want to go talk to your buddy or catch up, or you want to study, you go to Starbucks. And at Starbucks, they provide you with these super cute, aesthetically pleasing drinks. Now, I know I'm guilty of getting the Starbucks drink and just having to take a picture of it before I devour it because it just looks so nice. And then it's kind of a hit spot for like people of all ages. Like I was going to Starbucks the other day and the line literally went into the street and it went out of like the actual parking area. It was crazy. But imagine having a cafe with something that was a little more in. So this year, boba made its way onto the American food list, I guess you could say. And boba is a Vietnamese drink, and it's actually not the liquid itself. It is more of a topping that you put at the bottom of the drink. So if you look at this picture here, you can see like the little polka dots on the bottom of these drinks. And what it is, it's like gummies, but at the bottom of whatever you're drinking. And then you get like this thicker straw and you can suck it up and it just tastes really good with like whatever flavor you're drinking. It's kind of like a smoothie, but with a little bit of a topping on the bottom. And it's great for all year round because who doesn't love a good smoothie in the summer, especially right now when it's so hot? And who also doesn't love being able to put this in coffee and other different things? So this being said, I would want to make a business that would be a cafe, and it would be called Boba's Bubbles, and it could be short for BB. So if you want to go with your friends, I think it'd be cool if you'd say, hey, let's go to Boba's Bubbles. Okay, yeah, I'll meet you there at BB, It just already sounds like it would be cool. And so with this being said, my business would have a drive-through, just for convenient purposes. If you're late to work, but you want a little bit of energy in you and you just want to get a drink, boom, go through the drive-through and come back. And then I wanted to have a visually, aesthetically pleasing image to look at. So I want the building to look nice. And of course, the theme would be bubbles. So it could be like all oceany and watery. I was thinking more of a Bahamas Bucks kind of a theme. And so with that being said, I wanted to have my little business look all nice. And the good thing about it is that I wanted the bobas to come in all different shapes and sizes. So of course we can how Starbucks has a venti and everything. We would adopt the same principles except make it unique and put it into our business. And we would come up with specials, and we would have all these different flavors. And I think it would just be really cool. And the building itself would be a nice place for a bunch of teenagers to hang out. And since it would be near the high school, a bunch of people during lunch would want to come over here. And it would provide for great business. So that's the next thing that we want to talk about. Business. This would be a for-profit business, which means that we would be getting profit. Gotta get those bills paid, ladies and gentlemen. And so the mission statement that my company would develop would be Boba Bubbles' mission statement is to provide a fun, tranquilizing, and enjoyable environment centered around the sole purpose of customer service. So what I really want Boba's Bubbles to be is I want it to be a place where everyone can go to have fun. A place where you can just go talk to your friends, chill, relax, and at the same time enjoy a really good drink. And so the vision statement for that would be Boba's Bubbles will become the new hit spot for individuals who live within the city of Socorro. We will provide such great service that our business will expand throughout the rest of El Paso. So of course we have to start small. Everything starts with the beginning. And the beginning to Boba's Bubbles would be starting here in Socorro, of course. And it would be like its little homeland, you know. And then as it gets more popular, I hope that we can expand our business more towards the city where Boba's Bubbles could be everywhere and it could become the new thing. Kind of like how there is an ice cream shop called Fahrenheit 32 and it was new and it's rolled ice cream and no one had heard of it. And then they made one store and then of course it blew up. Everyone wanted to try it. It went everywhere because it was new and it was different. And that's what I see Boba's Bubbles to be. And I envision it to be very successful. And lastly, what do we value? What would my business value? And we have a couple of things here. The first of which would be customer satisfaction. That is the number one thing that we would want. We would make sure that everyone is having a good time. Number two, quick service. Everyone's in a rush. Nobody likes to wait. We don't want to be like a restaurant that there's a bunch of a waiting list and you have to wait for a whole hour before you get your food. We don't want that. We want it to be quick and easy, kind of like a fast food restaurant. And then you want quality products. You want to make sure that what you're consuming is fun. So while you're chit-chatting away, you can also be having a really nice and good drink. And lastly, teamwork and efficiency. Our employees, I'm hoping, will be very enthusiastic. And I know that we are going to value making sure that we get everything to you the right way. We don't want to have anything that isn't our best. And so with that being said, that is my presentation on Boba's Bubbles. And I hope one day maybe I could see a BB sign in Socorro where we can all hang out. Thank you very much and have a great day.